You're wasting 2 slots just to make one skill viable, and I think that's bad.
I think Bike should get a longer cooldown then. Give it a longer cooldown. An even longer cooldown if it's destroyed.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the podcast. Myself, Double D, and my lovely partner over here.
Jojo Prize. Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
And today we're going to be talking about skills, actives, and passives. So, do you want to start off with this, Jojo?
For sure, and to elaborate a little bit more about what exactly we'll be doing. So pretty much, we're going to be picking an active skill. So we're going to start with the actives. We're going to choose an active skill, and then we'll have a little bit of a debate on whether or not it needs any buffs or nerfs. And if it requires a buff or nerf, we can talk about the buffs. We can talk about the nerfs needed to better balance that active skill. And the first skill that we'll be going with is wall defense. I think wall defense is beautiful. It's fantastic. Like, it's one of the few actives in the game that just gives you straight invulnerability, right? You just can't die. And what's even better is it's a good time waster. So the raider has to just sit there and look at you stupid until you finish it. Yeah. 2, you can save another player from it. Literally, you defend a teammate behind you. And 3, you actually teleport from a distance to protect someone. So you actually gain distance, and then it'll open leeway to do some other creative stuff in that time. Like maybe once you teleport and protect a friend from a melee or something, you immediately de-change yourself, and now you're in front of the raider's face. So now you can better engage with them rather than just having to walk up to them and then de-change and flying up to them.
Yeah.
What do you think about wall defense, Double D?
Well, unfortunately, Wall of Defense is one of the few skills I actually don't have. And I've tried to pull this. Yeah, I don't have Wall of Defense.
You're trolling.
No, I am not. It's one of the skills I've been trying to get since Season 1, and haven't been able to. So,
Jesus.
In Season 1, I think we can all agree that this skill was broken.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You can teleport across the map. 500 meters, I swear, you can teleport across the map and protect someone.
Was it 500 meters? Was there no limit? Are you
there
sure?
Was a there was a limit, but you can go insanely far. I'm telling you. Okay, maybe I might be over exaggerating with 500 meters, but I'm telling you, I don't know how much exactly, like maybe 300 to 400, but you can go insanely far with old wall defense, like insanely across the map. Yeah, literally.
In Season 1, yeah, I would say then if the distance was, even if the distance was around 200 meters, let's say, let's try and look at the lower end, it was a very good skill. It was used everywhere. Yeah. It was the IT of Season 1. People used it even just for mobility, just to get across the map. Yeah. It was very good. I think personally they nerfed it a bit too hard. Because I think the distance now might be 80 or 90 meters. I could be wrong from what I heard.
I thought it was like 100 to 150 meters at max.
I don't have the skill, so I'm not sure. But it was a big nerf, and I very rarely ever see it now. I would like it to be buffed slightly, just so that it has a bit more use. Personally.
Yeah, go on.
No, go continue.
I was just gonna say, so me neither. I recently, since Season 3, even in Season 2, actually no, like the middle to ending of Season 2, I barely saw wall of defense. The only times I personally seen wall defense is when they're in a pre-made. So they actually use it in a very creative way. So what they usually do is one person would gather all the Dragon Balls. They would give it to the one person, and that one person would have 3 very, very good active skills. So, for example, wall defense is part of that. Vanishing. Actually, I'm not going to move on to others. Just wall defense specifically. Yeah. And what they would do is they would just wall defense and just wait for the rest of their teammates to come crawling in to defend that one guy.
Yeah.
Right? And it's actually pretty 5-head. And it's so sad not see wall defense as much anymore, because I think wall defense, again, you have like how many seconds of an invulnerability that the raider has to waste on you? Like
Yeah, maybe
3-4 seconds?
3-4 seconds, somewhere there.
Yeah, and every second actually counts in a game, like in an asymmetrical game in general, actually. So I think personally, wall defense, I think it's fine the way it is. Personally, for me, I think it's fine. I I think it made sense they nerfed the distance, because I mean, maybe what they could do is, if you're in D change, right? If you're in D change, you can go farther with it, right? If you're in D
Okay.
change, you can go farther with it. But if you're not in D change, you teleport at a shorter distance. Maybe that's the only. I don't know if this would be a buff or a nerf, but I guess a change for wall defense, because I have no complaints about it.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I do think it needs some change. I do like the idea of the skills being scaled based on the level of E-change Survivor has.
Same, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if it was level 1, then it's stronger. If you're level 3, it's weaker. It is definitely used in the pre-made. I did actually see this used very well in one game, where it was used to steal a Dragon Ball off a raider. So they knocked the Dragon Ball off. One person went to pick it up who was very low on D-change, and another person came in and used Wall of Defense, and the other person was able to get away with the Dragon Ball. So it can be used very well, but I feel like all skills need to be usable when you're solo queuing. And I can't see Wall of Defense being used at all in solo queue. I think it does need a bit of a buff. And what you suggested, I kind of like.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me add on to what I was saying before. I don't want to say that pre-mades are like the big important game changer for my opinions on these skills. I also do try to think about the solo queue-ness. It's just that one instance, it was just interesting to me on how wall defense was used like that. But yeah, in solo queue, you're mostly just gonna use this for yourself, really.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if Captain Ginyu gets Jason Birder, well, congrats. You have a button that completely, mostly negates a lot of the damage from Ginyu's win button.
Yeah.
I guess if you do want to protect someone, you could do that. But yeah, in solo queue, this is mostly used for yourself.
Yeah, it's just not good in solo queue, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still love it. I wouldn't mind running it back one day. But yeah, yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, the give it like a buff range if you're transformed, I think is a very good idea, personally.
Yeah. Any other buffs or changes to it, or nerfs?
It's a tough one, because then you're limited to, besides like increasing the duration of it or reducing the cooldown, can't really do much else besides these two, because then you're just changing the whole mechanic of the skill.
Yeah.
So I think your implementation is subtle, but it's a good one.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess not really much change. Just when you're in D change, you go farther. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then moving on to bike. How do you feel about bike?
Nerf to the ground.
Of course.
In
Got
my
it.
opinion, yeah. I honestly think
Deserved, really.
it was deserved. It was deserved, but no, I think it got too harshly nerfed because it was always coupled with energy field.
Yeah.
So I think if energy field didn't exist, the nerf would have been either subtle or none at all. Personally, I would like to see a speed buff. Not like to what it was before, but maybe an extra 50%. I would like to see a bit of a speed buff, because it's dead. I almost never see bike used at all. Personally. Yeah, what do you think?
So, in my opinion about bike, I mean, I think it's actually fine the way it is right now. I think it's fine. By itself, it's garbage, and you should never run it by itself. You're gonna get hit by everything the raider throws at you. Any key spamming, you're done.
Yeah.
The one thing is you have to pair it with the speed boost the way it is right now. You just have to. You're not gonna dodge any raiders. You're not gonna create too much distance from the raider and you. without the vehicle speed boost, right? But here's the thing, I do agree with you on that. That bike should get a speed boost, but not as fast as it was before.
Yeah.
And to add on to that, I think they should also make it so that the the little boost gauge, the little boost,
Yes.
give it a bar. Make the boost, the afterburn, have a bar, so you can only afterburn for a certain amount of time, for like maybe 2 or 3 seconds, or make it so that you have like 3 bars on the bike. You press the button for you to like boost. It'll use a boost, so you don't have to press it down. It's like It's like a
Automatic
once, yeah, automatic boost when you press the button. But there's only like 3 bars, and it has to charge up if you, for some reason, want to stay on the bike longer.
Okay, that's a really solid idea. I like the idea of having a boot bar. What I would do is that, in order for bike to be good now, you need to have, like you said, the vehicle speed boost, and you're wasting 2 slots just to make one skill viable, and I think that's bad in itself. So I would like it to have a small boost, and I would like it so that when you use the boost, it actually goes back to how its original speed prior to the nerf. So if you boost with vehicle boost as a passive, it goes back to how it was. That's what I would like to see balanced, personally. Again, I'm not taking energy field into account with this, because when we get to that skill, that's getting changed.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to get to that one.
Yeah.
But okay, if we're gonna add that, right, I think bike should get a longer cooldown then. Give it a longer cooldown, and even longer cooldown if it's destroyed.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah. So what's the cooldown on it right now? Isn't it like 55 seconds at plus 20?
I haven't used bike since season 1.
Shit, here I am with fucking all this knowledge. I don't even know the fucking cooldown.
Honestly,
but,
if I remember, I think isn't it 10 seconds more than grapple?
So you're saying it's like 80 seconds? Because grapple right now is like 70 seconds.
Grapple is 70. I could be wrong, but I swear like without plus 20 is 80. Could be wrong.
No, I swear to God, it was like 55 seconds for the bike to come out. But
I'll go with you
either
then.
way,
yeah.
Either way, I still think bike should. Okay, we implement all those speed buffs, like you said, but the base cooldown when you get off of it normally should be longer, and it should be even longer if the bike is destroyed by something from the raider or an assist or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Then I agree with it.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that. That's a good idea. It has a, yeah, I like this idea that, you know, you could have 2 different cooldowns based on how you use it. So it takes a bit of skill as well to know when to get off it, to know when to risk it.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, it'll make biking more valuable, because you know, why wouldn't you bike everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Might as well, because I feel like some actives should serve deeper purpose. For example, bike right now, right? Bike to me, I feel like should not only be actually no, it should only be used to like get away from the raider, in my opinion. I feel like it should be getting mostly trying to get away from the raider. And right now, the way it is right now, it's not really made for that anymore. It's more of just to go around the map, I guess. Yeah. But you already have other normal bikes around the map to do that for you.
Yeah.
So like, what's the point of this bike doing the same job as normal bikes around the map? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
So yeah, I think I think this bike deserves buffs, big buffs, but at the cost of major nerfs, just so the raider gets a little bit more rewarded for actually destroying an important active. Yeah, the bike.
I agree.
And moving on here, instant descent. Oof, this one is a toughie in my opinion.
For me, it's really simple. Remove the lock on.
I actually think it should do something more.
But the thing is, we don't know how good it will be once the lock-on is removed. Because if, for example, there's no lock-on, right? You're up in the air, you fly high, the raider's chasing you. You instant descend all the way down, and you immediately grapple, missile, zipline, bite, Nimbus. Okay, maybe not Nimbus. Kaioken.
Yeah.
I think it's a clean getaway. I think it serves its purpose.
Yeah, but it requires you to be in a situation where you're actually up in the air, and quite frankly, you're not always in the air all the time. You're usually on ground level because you're a survivor.
Well, that is true, but if you can use this skill to change your play style. So, if you want, you could run the Baba skin. If you want to be funny about it,
Yeah,
you could
I
run.
suppose so.
You could run Nimbus. You could run what else? Trampoline. There are skills that you can use to go around this to actually make it viable, in my opinion. And especially as a level 4, you want to try and survive as much as you can. And if they remove the lock-on, I think instant descent could be a viable option for stalling the raider.
That is true. I do have to give instant descent credit for this one. If you're a level 4, you don't have to worry about losing your D change. You can just instant descent all the way to the ground, right?
Yeah.
And whether they have lock on with you or not, that's like insane distance that the raider has to waste time in getting you in. So you're a really good stalling machine once doing that, right? And yeah, you were going to say something?
Yeah. So just one more thing. If they don't remove the lock on, an alternative I would suggest to it is, instead of teleporting you down, just do an instant descend down, like you actually go down, so then it can pair well with landing nullification.
You know how Nappa places down a Cyberman when you're in the air?
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, but faster, I think.
Yeah, faster. So here's the change or maybe fuck it, addition to instant descent. Instead of instant descending downwards, maybe you can, well, it kind of ruins the name of it, but maybe instead of instant descending downwards, you can instant descent, like maybe sideways. So for example, like if you're a survivor without D chain and you have instant descent, you're gonna have to pair it up with a lot of shit just to use it once, and even then the raider will still be locked onto you and will still be able to track you, right?
Yeah.
So what if with instant descent, it's like a dash when you're a normal survivor, right? You instantly dash forward, but at a shorter distance, right? There's no like maximum distance. You just dash forwards in a direction that you're running towards. What do you think about that?
It will become another escape tool if it does.
For sure,
that. Yeah. I do like the idea. If you had freedom of movement to go in any direction, up, down, left, right, it will be a skill to compete with grapple and missile.
I don't think it should go up. I don't think it should ever go up. It's an instant descent thing, so I think you should only, if you're on ground level, you can only stay on ground level with that move. And if you're obviously in the air, you only go down. So you're never going up with this ability, in my opinion.
I do like the idea. I just feel like it's a completely different skill because it's called instant descent.
Yeah,
so,
that's what. Like I said, it kind of ruins the name of it, but just a change idea that could, I don't know.
It would be good. It would completely change the usage of it. Everyone will use it for like grapple and missile purposes, but it's a neat idea. Probably a future skill.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, now that I think about it, that actually sounds like a skill in game that they could add.
Yeah, I did actually think of this a few days ago. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's similar.
Yeah. Again, going back to instant descent, it's whatever. It does need buffs. It actually does need quite a bit of buffs, in my opinion. Like maybe for an example, because again, you need to pair it with a lot of other things just to make it work once, I guess.
It is, but if it synergizes well, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, like smoke, a simple combination.
Yeah.
Smoke screen into instant descent, as long as you're in the air, of course.
Yeah. The problem is that if you can only use smoke screen well in that one scenario, is it worth it?
Not really, no.
Yeah. Again, it comes down for me for the lock-on, or at least, you know, paired with landing null. Because the lock-on mechanic is not only evident in this one skill. It's evident in instant transmission as well, when you do snipes, as soon as they use it. So this is an in-game problem. This isn't a skill problem.
Yeah, so if they remove the lock-on, I think instant descent would be at a bit of a better place, but I wouldn't see it doing anything drastic. I think you'd be able to put instant descent in like fun builds now.
Yeah.
Now that you can actually, you know, have fun with it and juke with it. But as of right now, if you use it now, I mean, you have to do a lot of setup for it. The times you do use it don't really feel all that impactful, to be honest.
Yeah.
And overall, it needs buffs. It needs buffs, pal. It needs a lot of buffs. More than nerfs, if any.
Yeah, it really does. It could maybe pair well with moves like Kaioken. You Kaioken to the sky. If you're getting chased, then use instant descent, or use Bardock's Rebellion Spear, go up to the sky and then instant descent. But yeah, at the moment it can't be taken seriously.
Yeah, it's just a meme thing, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh well.
But moving on, my personal favorite, grapple device.
Grapple device. Okay, I'll shoot you with what I would change for this. So, I actually thought of this last night, because I do nothing but think about this game every day. So,
I'm sorry.
grapple device. First of all, fix the speed issue. Keep it consistent.
Yes! Oh my god, that's an obvious.
Yeah, so fix that. However, if you grapple while in your normal state, it's fast. But if you grapple while you're transformed, it's slower.
I'll take it. Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually... So, what I was thinking was, whether you're in normal form, your normal human form, or in D-Change, it's just at a normal, consistent speed. That was my idea. But I actually don't mind the idea of... if you're in D-Change, it's slower. If you're in civilian mode, then it's faster. Because, I mean, it makes sense, right? You want to get the fuck out of there. You don't have any D-Change. As for in D-Change, I mean, you have plenty to your kit. You can fly. You can fight the Raider now.
Yeah.
And pair it with grapple device. I mean, you're escaping from him.
Yeah.
Right? And, yeah, I like that idea. I guess another thing I would change, right? Is the distance. If we're gonna use my idea of it going normal speed, because it's consistent speed, whether you're in civilian mode or in D-Change, right? I think it should be a normal, consistent speed with the normal range like it was before. Which I forgot how many... I don't know how many times they nerfed grapple. I think they nerfed it like twice ever.
No, once.
Did they? Only once? Yeah. I think they should bring back old grapple, but at the cost of a normal, consistent speed, in my opinion. And keep the normal cooldown it is now.
Yeah, it's hard for us to gauge what is the normal speed, because we keep getting so many different speeds that it's hard for us to gauge what is normal.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. I've used grapple so many times, I swear. You can just tell when there's a slow grapple versus a fast grapple, right? So I think there's actually 3 modes to it. The slow grapple, right? Obviously, the classic where you get cucked over because it's slow. Then there's actually, I swear to, I might be going crazy here, but I swear there is actually a normal grapple speed, a normal one that's perfectly fine, and then there's like a super fast grapple speed, and you're out of there in like 2 seconds. I didn't even need to use 2 other escapes because of how fast I went.
From my experience, I actually think there's 4.
4?
Yeah, I actually think there's 4. So obviously the super fast one is no need for any explanation, but I swear there is a rare one where it's a super slow grapple.
There's a super slow one?
Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but like, if it honestly feels like you're going in slow motion. I don't know if you've had that.
Yeah, I think I know it. Okay, let me double back. I think there was a 4th mode, like you're saying, a super slow mode, where you're like, for some reason, you just want to take your sweet time getting to the location after you're about to die. Classic breakers.
Yeah, so I think there's There are honestly 4 modes, and I think they do it on purpose. It's like rolls the dice, and whatever it falls on, that's what you get.
That is.
I think that's what they do.
That is bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit because it's too RNG based. There's no skill. Nothing.
I mean, there is a little bit of skill behind it. Like, you can't just willy-nilly grapple anywhere, right? You have to actually grapple to a spot where it might have a wall to cover line of sight from the raider, or
that is true. But like, if you have the slowish grapple, you'll get down before you get without line of sight. That's the thing.
Okay, yeah, no, that's right. But that's assuming.
Yeah.
It actually keeps a consistent speed. Because let's face it, no matter where you grapple, like, I don't know what's worse, grappling slowly, very slow to a safe place, or grappling really fast to an unsafe space. Like,
yeah,
I've been in that situation so many times, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, it is really bad. And usually, like, because if you panic grapple, okay, you grapple and you use the time you're grappling to process what you're going to do next. And if it's a fast grapple, you hit the wall before you realize it, and you're like, oh crap.
Exactly. I'm always expecting a slow damn grapple, right?
Yeah.
And then the one miraculous time I get a fast grapple, I'm like, wait, I didn't get this far. Wait, what do I do now? Oh god. What the fuck do I do now?
Exactly.
And it's like,
yeah.
I don't want to feel like that every time I use one of the most important active skills in the game, or even better, one of the most used active skills in the game. I don't want to think like that. I want to think, I'm going to grapple here, I'm going to be safe, and I'll think of another strategy plan. Not, oh god, please don't let this be slow grapple. If it's slow grapple, I'm dead. I'm actually dead.
Yeah.
Like,
honest,
Jesus.
Yeah. You're forced to play more passively in case you get slow grapple. That's the problem.
Exactly. And then I have to, like, leave much more early because I'm scared of slow grapple, or, you know, I leave too early because of fast grapple, and then I'm like, wait, I just wasted my D change, and now I gotta get out of it, and then I can't fight anymore until I get a drink or something, or let it recharge. Yeah. Fucking grapple, man. I still use it to this day, by the way.
Yeah, same. I switched to it again this season because it's still more reliable than missile for me, even though it's
fair enough
consistent. Yeah, but I would, with my change as well, I would like it to go not back to its original distance, because I believe its original distance was 225 meters, and now it's 175. I would like it put to 200.
Yeah, middle ground.
Yeah, I would like that as well. Just give us a little bit of extra distance.
Yeah, at the cost of the speed, or
yeah, like you can tweak the speeds for, like, when you're in survivor mode. Change. You can tweak that if you want to get more range.
How about this? What if it depends on the angle you take when using the grapple? Like, I think this is getting a little bit too deep. This is getting into semantics, but I think, like, if you're pointing it upwards, it's slower, but if you're pointing it downwards, it's faster, right? I mean, it only makes sense. Gravity.
Yeah, that is. Okay, continue.
I was just gonna say, I mean, it only makes sense. It's gravity, right? So, whether you're in human form, actually no, I'm gonna still stay with, if you're in human form, it's always fast. If you're in human form, you're rewarding yourself for not using your D change, and you're getting a fast grapple to hopefully maybe escape. But if you're in D change, if you aim upwards, it's slower. If you aim downwards, it's faster, but maybe not as fast as when you're in civilian mode. What do you think about that?
It's an idea. I don't know how well they'd be able to incorporate something like that, because
yeah, again, it's a complicated idea for someone like them, but
I also just, what if the speed is linked to the distance? So if you...
No, I mean, no, I don't think that really matters.
No, because, like, if you do a long grapple, so you use its full range, it's in its slowest form. But if you grapple, like, a very short distance, it's instant.
Yeah, but I mean, the only time I could ever use or see that happening is, you know, there's super time machines about to break and you grapple that close to him. But most of the time, you're mostly gonna use the grappling
get
far away.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, so it's not a bad idea, but it's not a good idea either. It's just an idea that I don't think will matter much, in my opinion.
The probably just make it worse, honestly. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Anyways,
But yeah.
moving on to the
Moving
next
on.
one, because we're honestly not going to get through all these within the normal amount of time.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's-
don't think we're gonna get through everything.
No, it's half an hour and we've only done 4.
Jesus, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
All right, after image.
We're screwed, yeah. After image. Honestly, I don't think I would change this.
One issue is this. Yeah, me neither. But one issue is this: you're not actually invincible.
No, you're not.
Exactly, and I find that really annoying. Make it so that you're
Mm.
actually invincible.
So you think you should last for the full duration of the skill?
Actually, no, hold on. How about this? In the beginning, the first like 1 or 2 vanishes, you're invincible. But the longer you stay in the after image, the slower you get, and then you're susceptible to being hit. What do you think of that? So the first, like, I don't know, 3 vanishes, the first 2 vanishes, you're invincible.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the vanishing, you slow down, so you'll be able to be hit by either a melee or some key spams.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than you have a chance of getting hit by the melee again or the key spam again, because I don't know if you've ever been in a situation against a raider where you after image, and then you, for some reason, this game decided to after image you right back into their melee. And that happens a lot.
I haven't had that happen to me specifically, but I can see it happening.
Yeah, so it trust me when I tell you this, it happens more often than you think, where you after image out of the melee.
Yeah.
And then the second after image, you after image right back into their melee, and then you get hit again.
I could see that happening with like Jason Berta if he has Raccoon up. I could see that happening.
Yeah, it's really annoying. So yeah, give it more iframes in the beginning, but give it less iframes the longer you use it.
What I would say is, how about you make the after images more spread out?
Elaborate on that? What do you mean?
So, like you said, that the second after image usually still falls within the melee range. Have it more spread out, just like how vanishing is increased with unconscious control.
Mhm.
Have after image just have a bigger spread, so that when you do it, you're not going to get hit by the melee attack. So
But not
wider.
the same size as Cell's after image, right?
You could.
Because Cell's after image is like, in my opinion, I think Cell has the best evasive in the game when it comes to raiders.
Well, I mean, he has 2 at level, but
True.
how about this? How about it's the same as Cells if you're transformed, but smaller if you're in the survivor?
No, I'm sorry, no. That's a big no. I heavily disagree with that.
Too strong, you think?
That is way too strong. Yes, I mean, have you seen the the cracked players in this game? If they know that they can use the major distance while in D-change, they will just keep backing up. Even worse if they're at level 4. So
I mean, they can't spam it.
True, but they can, supplement it with or back it up with, angry shot or any other evasive or like an escape tool, and then you got to repeat the process again, etc., etc. But that's getting into specifics. But I mean,
Those smaller.
yeah, go on.
Smaller. No, not as much as Cell, but bigger than what it currently is.
Yes, the way it is right now isn't big, and it can definitely be larger, but not as large as Cell's after image.
Okay, so how about then in Survivor mode, it's bigger, but when you're transformed, it's what it is now. Maybe.
Okay, how about this? Actually, that's a tough, because what I was thinking was, if you're in civilian mode, your after image actually goes farther, but it's slower after image.
Oh, is that true?
You know what I mean? No, it doesn't
Okay, it's
actually
an
do
idea.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an idea.
Slower,
What do you think about
but
that?
I think that's just easier to key spam, isn't it? Or like time counter. it's slower. Because most experienced raiders know to like how to time it. So I feel like that'll make it that you'll be more vulnerable. Unless you get iframes while doing it. But
How about this? How about this? Crazy. Now, this is something I know I think they could do. What if you press the after image and you can actually do the after image yourself? And there's like a bar that goes with it. You can hard click the after image like 5 times in like 1 second, or you can space out your after image by pressing it one at a time yourself. What do you think?
So kind of like vanishing, but better.
Yeah, kind of like vanishing, but you can't use it offensively. It's only a defensive way of using it. What do you think about that? Being able to use after image on your own accord rather than it playing out for itself.
Sounds like it'll be used for mobility more.
Okay, then give it a longer cooldown. For every after image you use, it'll have a longer cooldown each time you use it. So there's like 5 after images, 1 after image, and you remove it from there. That's like maybe 20 second. Do 2 after images, it's like 30 seconds, and it just increases every time by 5 seconds.
You know what
do you think about that?
You know what I would like? You know, if we're gonna get really funny with this, is that after image actually creates after image. So like, you use it and then it instantly like drops, like it creates 5 of you, and then like it locks on to like all 5, so the raider has to quickly pick, and every time he melees a fake one, it vanishes.
You want to know the sad part? That is such a make sense idea, right? But you know damn well they can't fit that in their budget. They can't do something so complicated.
I don't think it's that complicated.
Really? Dude, imagine the whole lobby has something like that. Dude.
Okay. Instead of 5, make it 3. So then the raider has a 1 in 3 odds of hitting you first time.
Okay, sure, I guess.
Yeah. So like, but yeah, I think it would be more fun to use. I don't know if it would work better, but it would be nice if they actually made an after image.
Okay, dude, this is just another discussion now. We're not even talking about buffs or nerds, but
okay. Anyways, yeah, we were talking about reworks. Yeah. Anyways,
we got a little too dreamy there. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about reworks. So. Yeah, going back to the normal after image, not the fun after image we were talking about, sadly. I guess the idea I propose is to buff it and make it so that you have more iframes in the beginning, but less iframes in the end.
Okay, I can go with that. Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
Then moving on.
Moving on. Okay, enemy radar.
Oh my god. This is one of the worst skills in the game.
I'll just be frank, delete it.
No, I say we can make it work, please.
We've got telepathy. How can you make this skill any better without basically making it a copy of telepathy?
Okay, here's an idea, all right? I was thinking that it actually marks the raider. Not just triggers the the little red icon of his name, like it actually marks the raider. Like it latches onto the raider, or no, it detects the raider, and it'll shoot out like, I don't know, something to it, or maybe the enemy radar will just go straight to the raider, and it will latch onto him, and from a certain amount of distance, he's actually highlighted. As in, like, there's like a outline of his character.
Okay, I'll one up you.
Okay.
How about this? How about you can actually place it in any area, and let's say if the raider is within a 200-meter radius of it, he will be permanently marked, and in order to get rid of it, the raider has to look up and destroy it.
So you throw it up in the air as like a patroller, or not a patroller,
like a detecting beacon. So you put it up in one area, it goes to a certain height. I don't know if you want to put it at the ceiling, maybe that's too much. Put it at a certain height, and it will monitor the raider if he's within the zone permanently. So the raider has to destroy it.
And what will it show? The red icon?
Yeah, the red icon permanently. So if, for example, he is body camping or key camping, you can place this above the area to always know his position.
So, what you're saying is once you aim it, you can throw it, and it'll go to a certain distance, and it'll detect that area once it stops.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I actually like that idea much better than what I was saying. For sure, yeah.
This actually, this would actually be viable.
I think we could use it as like it's obviously an informational tool, right?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Mhm.
but I think it can be amplified. As in, for example, if the raider is like camping, we'll know that he's camping because he's been in that area the whole time.
Yeah.
And to be even better, right? It doesn't get destroyed if it knocks into a wall. So what you could do is be real creative and sneaky with it. So if the raider is camping A zone in Highland, right? You know the big underground cave at A?
Yeah.
Right? And they're around it, you could throw it inside the cave, right? And the raider wouldn't know any better. And he's camping the area, and then we'll know.
That is true, but I think that would make it a bit too broken. Because then just...
What if it makes a loud noise?
Not a loud noise, because that would be very bad for the raider, again, because raiders rely on sound. What I would want it is that it detects anything below it. So you have to put it high up. Rather than detecting anything around it or above it, it has to be... The enemy raider has to be above the raider because it only detects downward. So,
actually, how about this instead? How about a visual cue? Like maybe something shoots up in the sky.
No, I just think the raider just has to look up because the current enemy radar glows red. So I think just keep that glowing red thing. So if the raider looks up and he sees something glowing red, he knows what it is and goes... And he can also hear the activation effect from.
I don't know about that. Then it's gonna have to go farther than it does now. That's what I think. I think the distance needs to be a bit more farther because I mean
it goes far.
Any competent raider will just destroy it in like 2 seconds, right? There'd be no point.
Well, I mean it depends how high you can take it. If you can put it to go all the way up into the ceiling, even if the raider sees it, he's gonna have to travel a bit.
Fair.
I think okay, this is something that would need to be tested a lot, but I think this is a way to rework it to make it viable.
I mean, all right. I mean, I'm still iffy about it, but I don't know. It's a good idea in general, right? Because like you said, enemy radar is like in the gutter, so any little bit helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess for the most part, I do agree with your idea. It's just I'm very iffy on how it's used and how the radar addresses it.
Yeah, that needs to be tested.
Issue with it.
Yeah, that has to be tested. There's no way to know.
Because, like, how is it going to look like? Is it like a big beam? Like, why wouldn't they shoot that down in like 2 seconds?
But yeah, it won't have any visual indication apart from what it is now. So it will still keep the same design. So you see how it is when you shoot it. It's a very small thing that you just send flying. It will be exactly that. And glowing red. So if the raider's not paying attention, he might not even notice it.
Yeah, but then again, I really want to put like some like stealth aspect to it. That's why I'm saying like maybe you could put it on ground level and then it'll detect them around that just so it's a little more sneaky and stuff.
I think that'll make it too overpowered.
Yeah, but then we can add like a bunch of like maybe like I said, audio cues or make it more visually noticeable or something. I don't know.
It's possible. Yeah, that could be an alternative. Yeah, not gonna argue with that.
Yeah. But all right.
Okay.
Moving on.
Another trash one. Listen.
Yeah, I mean personally, this is better than enemy radar the way it is now. But listen, there's got to be some. I'm sorry to say, but there has to be some skills that just has to stay shit, and there's nothing we can do
No,
about it. And personally,
I disagree.
yeah,
I disagree.
really,
I think in a perfect world, you want all skills to be balanced. So that's what I try to achieve or think of mentally.
true.
Because there is no skill like this. There's nothing that's competing with this. This is just a shit skill.
Yeah.
So what I would do personally is have the skill work in the entire zone you're in and actually show waveforms from where the survivors are.
So if I walk into A, I can hear all the civvies, and I can hear the raider if he's in that area.
Yeah. So you hear all the survivors, you hear the raider, you get like waveforms around all the locations of the survivors and the raiders for like 5 seconds. Kind of like Dragon Ball Diviner, but it works only in one zone.
Interesting.
So that way, like at the beginning of the game, if you're in a zone, like you're in town or whatever, you immediately use it so you know what buildings to go to for the civs.
Okay, well, okay, like 2 or 3 more, okay? Because then we'll be here like literally the entire fucking day.
Well, I mean, we have to try. Okay, so this is clearly going to be like 3 or 4 podcasts just for the active skills.
Yeah, literally, exactly, dude. Rest in peace to passives, bro. Don't even get me started on the passives. I don't want to look at the passives, man. I'm scared. Oh God, Jesus Christ, we're not even halfway, dude.
No.
We're a fucking quarter.
Okay. I mean, at least we've got a podcast for the next
like 5 fucking episodes, dude. 5, dude. Let alone the passives. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, man. At least we won't run out of shit to talk about for a while.
That is true, but eventually I do want to talk about other shit, man.
We'll get there. Let's try and squeeze a few more at least.
Okay. Here's okay. We'll talk about it after this podcast ends. All right.
Okay. All right. So listen. Anything you want to say?
With listen, I nothing much really. I really do like the idea that you gave actually, and you know, one thing that I find that I actually really like about listen is it's actually multiple things in one. So it has key tracking. It has, you can listen farther. It does have a radius to it, and you do have to stand still for it. Yep. And if there's anything we can add to make it even better, it'd be fantastic, because it's one of the few, if I think this is like the only active, I think, that actually does multiple other passives / actives, if that makes sense. Because like I said, you listen farther and there's already a passive for that. You can see key tracking, which is already a passive, and it has like a radius to it.
Yeah.
So I think the idea that you're giving it, I think is pretty decent, but I wouldn't be opposed to any other idea. Like maybe for an example, right? Actually, I don't have any examples. I'm trying to think of one, but I can't think of any. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that. I think the idea that you gave was pretty sound and decent, and I really like it.
Okay, perfect. We can put this one for the scrap heap and move on to the next one.
Yep.
Hey.
Telepathy.
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 Honest?
No, it's telepathy.
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 Okay, I know you can say something like telepathic communication, but on its own, it's telepathy.
Yeah, but telepathy.
You went to school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so telepathy.
Telepathy, okay.
I honestly think it's
fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. It does its job. Like, there's nothing special about it. It just does its job. One good thing is if you can time it, right? Like, if you know the raider is, like, walking on ground level. Say, for example, if it's, like, a lava cell or a cell that is running on the ground.
Yeah.
The cell is a stealth raider. Use it when you don't see him. and boom, you just save someone's life because now they can detect them. Their character is like in scared mode,
Yeah.
right? And then they'll be able to dechange sooner and not stand still like an idiot. Or maybe if they're ADing, you time it as soon as they're done with their ADing. So now everyone sees which direction he's going into, which area. So maybe they can clear away from it or get shit done as they're going to that area.
Yeah.
So it nothing to it. It serves its job well. It's a map wide skill, very good.
Yeah.
No, I have zero complaints about it. No busties needed, no nerfs is needed. It serves its job perfectly.
Yeah. It's very hard to change this without comparing it to enemy radar, and it's very hard to buff this to the point where it doesn't become broken, even though it's not really used now that often.
Yeah, I've used it myself, and like I said, it is fantastic. It's wonderful. It's so good.
Yeah. What I would change maybe to make it a bit better is instead of it highlighting the red icon, is that instead we actually get a visual look on what the raid is doing. So you know how it has like an outline of like when a raider uses key tracking or scouter, you see the outline.
Yeah.
I would like it if this skill did the same on the raider. So you can see exactly what he's doing in that moment. Is he getting a sieve? Is he opening chests? Is he running around?
Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that idea.
Too much?
Too much, way too much information. I think raiders should have more privacy when they're going around like that. That's way too much information.
Okay.
The icon is more than enough for me.
Okay, fair enough. We can leave it as it is now.
All right.
All right.
Now.
Kaioken Rush.
I mean, no, not really. Maybe make it so it's like a charge up. Okay, it already is a charge up, but make it so that you stand still for a little bit, charge up your Kaioken. You have the Kaioken, so you're able to move, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe the next action you do, like for example, okay, how about this? Kaioken Rush. If you're in D-Change, you can charge up your Kaioken, and the next action you do will be amplified. So for example, if you do a melee attack on the raider, it'll be like a more amplified, more damagey Kaioken attack. Or you can use the Kaioken to just Kaioken Rush like you normally do in D-Change. And then keep it the way it is normally when you're a civilian. With no D-Change. What do you think about that?
This is a tough one. Because it's used mostly for escapes.
Yep.
But it has its occasional moments where it's used, you know, to take the ball off a radar or to stop him from eating.
Yep.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it is the one skill that actually does some damage to the raider when you're transformed. If I'm not mistaken. So it's very hard for me to figure out a balance for this. What I would do if I had to do one change, a simple one, would be decrease the charge time. I feel like the charge time is what makes it not as popular as grapple and missile for escapes. And I think it would be used a little bit more to stop raiders from doing certain things.
So your idea is decrease the charge up time.
Yeah, simple. I think just decrease the charge up time.
Okay. No, yeah, that's true. Okay, how about this? It's either that or just make Kaioken Rush just faster. Make it more scary. Make it easier to land in general. Because the way it is right now, it's like you kind of have to, like, you know, obviously they'll use it out in the open where the raider can see you, but you're gonna have to like time it to where you have no field of view, break line of sight, and even if you did use it, you actually don't gain that much impactful distance. So you're gonna have to pair it up with other escape tools. By itself is meh. And yeah, so if we're gonna go with your idea, what was your idea again? Faster startup?
Yeah, faster startup.
Faster startup, right? Or normal startup the way it is now, but you just go faster. in general. You just go faster, which by default makes it go farther, because you're going faster,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, that's my take on it.
We could do that, but they have to remove the elephant in the room, is the synergy it has with landing null.
Yeah, that's considered a glitch, right?
I believe so, because it still works with the missile as well.
Yep.
Yeah, because Kaioken Rush with landing null is busted.
It is busted. You're not catching them. You might as well drop chase when they do that.
Yeah, so they have to fix that if there's going to be any sort of tweak and buff to this move. My opinion.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's that for Kaioken Rush. Do you want to keep going, or you want to stop here?
We'll do one more. How about one more?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, you want to call this one?
Power Unleashed it is then.
Power Unleashed. Okay. Ooh, how much have you used this skill?
A few times, but I've seen enough other people using it to see that it is it's not busted, but it's actually right next to busted.
Okay. In my opinion, this skill goes two ways. In randoms, it is completely useless. In a pre-made, it's broken. Because I've seen this. Yeah, sorry. I've seen this move used so many times, especially by a certain group, to invalidate raiders. Not just Spopos, all raiders. And this is a key requirement for that. And I think this should not be possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this needs a buff for randoms, but it needs a nerf for pre-mates. Personally.
Well,
yeah, you go with your idea.
Okay, so what I was thinking of is this. I actually think it needs more nerfs than any buffs at all. Okay. And the nerf is this. Make it so that you actually don't gain a level up from it. You don't go past level 1. Unless you're level 0. Mm-hmm. If you're entirely level 0, then you get level 1. Okay. But in my opinion, okay, even better. How about this? You actually do get the level up, but you can't combat the raider in melee. What do you think about that? You keep the level.
To be fair, I rarely see it actually. I rarely see pre-mates use this for melee. It's usually always power unleashed into an immediate super. So that won't really change.
Well, that's a pre-made though, right? Pre-mades are like 1% of the game, right? I don't think we should focus on the pre-mades.
But the thing is, I rarely ever see this in randoms. Do you see it often?
No, the way I see Power Unleashed being used is just like a second health bar. That's it.
Yeah, it's a second health bar. Either used to make a quick escape, which usually fails, or to get a quick hit. But I very rarely see it properly utilized unless it's in a pre-made. And I think it's too broken for pre-mades, but too, in a sense, useless for solos, because you kind of need teamwork to make this skill viable.
Well, it has a really good survivability, though, no?
If the raider is key spamming you, even if you do it, how long are you gonna last? An extra 2 seconds?
Fair enough, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I don't know if you have any ideas how you would... Oh, you did mention the level thing. I don't think that would change the situation much with the level, because they can still transform and immediately use their super, which is what they do.
Well, here's my annoyance with Power Unleashed, right? Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's like a second health bar, right? Yeah. It's literally a second health bar. So if you do some like insane big boy damage, that's not going to contribute over to their normal health. And so here's my nerf to it. My nerf is this. Any extra damage you gain while in the Power Unleashed phase, some of that damage gets contributed to your normal leeching. So if you have... you're a level 2, you use Power Unleash, you have level 3, and the Raider melees you, and your health is at 0 while he's still meleeing you, that extra damage gets poured into your D-change, normal D-change. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, again, it's a free health bar, and it's so annoying that you go out of your way to melee someone, And what do you know? They come out unscathed. They still have full HP. Your melee is useless to them. And admit, yes, I get it. It's a long cooldown, but this is assuming you're going up against competent survivor players. And time is very precious for you as a raider, and you just wasted time beating someone's ass that can easily get that health bar in like 180 seconds. What do you think about that?
It's an idea. I still feel like it needs to be rebalanced. I do like your suggestion. It would make it more less viable, which is what we want.
Yeah.
Especially against premates, but I still feel like it needs some sort of standalone buff for randoms. But I honestly, I haven't stopped to think about this particular skill. Oh,
boom.
Okay.
Here's an idea.
All right.
You know how Gohan has this is literally Gohan's ability, literally.
Yep.
He had the power unleashed to himself, right? Every time he powered up, he would just straight up get stronger. Like have you played Fighter Z?
Briefly, yeah.
So in Fighter Z, Gohan has like a super where he, takes 1 bar to power up, and then he's just straight up better. He just does more damage, he's faster and everything, and he can power up multiple times. What if every time you use Power Unleashed, right? Every time you use Power Unleashed, in a fight, of course, the Power Unleashed actually gets better and better, to the point where it's not it's like half of your HP at that point. What do you think about that? Now, I know that sounds terrifying for pre-made.
Not really, but yeah, go on.
But I think it's actually wonderful for solo queues, because you're rewarded for using it each time. You're quote unquote unleashing your power each time. You're using it more and more, and as a reward for waiting out the long cooldown and for using it for such a brief moment, you're rewarded for a longer time next time. It's better next time, and you just do more damage. So again, you'll get the level up, and you'll get more HP back for using it more. So it's encouraged to use it as many times as you can. And again, you're rewarded for using it more and more.
So what is to stop a pre-made from, as soon as they get in the game, they all use it immediately just to start leveling it up? Is that okay?
Yeah, well, like I said, pre-mades is a scary subject, right?
Yeah, but are you okay?
Is so weird.
Even if it's a random, are you okay with the idea of having a skill that is immediately used in right at the beginning of the game just to level it up for later on?
No. Okay, how about this? Maybe it's a unique skill that you just can't activate in the beginning of the match. You have to actually, it's on an automatic charge at the beginning.
Automatic cooldown.
Yeah, automatic cooldown in the beginning. Or how about this? Even better. What if you can... Okay, so initially the way it is now... Sorry about dog if you hear him.
Oh, good.
The way it is now, right? What if it doesn't have any cooldown? It's just deactivated for the time being. And the only way for you to activate it is to fight. Get D-change. Oh, this might be changing up the whole gameplay mechanic of it, but I'm still going to say anyways. You have to fight the raider. Whether you hit the raider, where you get hit by the raider, it'll slowly, okay, not slowly, but depending on how fast it charges up, it depends. But it'll charge up when you do a certain action against the raider or the raider against you, and then it'll unlock, right? And then that's when you can unlock your potential or your power.
Yeah.
And then the more you use it, it'll have a normal cooldown the way it is now. And then, like I said, it gets better and better the more you use it. What do you think about that?
Okay. I do like the idea of it getting better and better. One thing I just thought now with your idea that I would tweak is, what if it can only be activated if you're transformed? So it's locked out, but it can only be used when it's transformed, and each time you use it, it can get better and better, like you said. But with each use, the cooldown gets bigger.
Okay, yeah. So it's on like a shorter cooldown the first time you use it. So it's like on a 70-second cooldown.
Yeah.
The more you use it, it's on an 80. Do it again, 90. Do it
Yeah.
again, and then maybe even more than that. The way I'm saying now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because with this idea that it starts off really weak and gets better, actually makes it
makes
hard.
sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, and it makes it harder for pre-mates to try and invalidate a raider because it's so short.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have to dedicate a whole video to pre-mates. I swear. We gotta figure out if me and you can fix pre-made. I doubt we can ever fix pre-made, but who knows?
I mean, with the way we're reworking some skills, when we get to the really broken ones that certain pre-mades use, especially certain, I won't mention them anyway.
Hey, let's not controversy. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, not yet. But yeah, I think with the help of some skill balancing, we will eventually nerf pre-mates and buff randoms. That's what we're trying to do anyway.
Yeah. So that's such an iffy balance discussion, right? I mean, take Dead by Daylight for an example. I hate Dead by Daylight, but if there's one thing they actually got going here is even if you're like in a 4-man squad, they're still beatable. Yeah, you have to be a lot more strict with your gameplay, with what killer you to use, what add-ons, what perks, but you still have a bit more flexibility. As for breakers, I mean, dude, you're just not gonna win, no matter who you pick. Even worse if you pick the wrong raider, so you have to play your cards insanely right. You got to win the lottery ticket to win against a pre-made, literally.
Yeah, because of certain skills, like once we get to energy field and especially instant transmission, oh boy. Are they gonna get nerfed?
I can't wait for that. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it off here.
Yep, sounds good. We managed to discuss 10, I think. Yeah, we managed to.
3,
that's a nice
6,
number.
9, 10. Yeah, that's 10. Yep.
That's a good number for. Well, not the number we wanted, but it's a number regardless.
Yeah, I was fully expecting we complete this in like one day, but I was Jesus Christ. Me and Double D were fucking nerds, man. Double D more bigger of a nerd than me, but still.
Probably, yeah. But I'll take it. I love Dragon Ball, and sadly, I love this game too.
Me too, man. I mean, I complain and whine about it and bitch about it all the time, but like someone said in my chat before, I forgot who. It's because I care. Right?
Yeah,
I care.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we care. That's why we hate it.
Exactly.
Well, I guess we'll wrap it here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for listening to us ramble about skills or having us in the background, whichever it is. I hope you all have a great day, and we will catch you all the next episode where we go through probably another 10 skills.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. This has been Double D and my lovely friend over here, Jojo Prize. And we will catch you all next time. Bye.
Bye.